So, UFC 325 just went down, and I, King here MMA, will be reacting to the event that just happened. So, let's get straight to the card. We'll start with the road to UFC fights. And for the first fight of the card, we're going to start with Sulan Gangbo versus Lawrence Louis. This fight could have went either way. Sulan Gangbo, I think he was doing more damage on the feet personally. I chose Lawrence Louis for this fight. He's a pretty impressive grappler with some really heavy hands. Sulan Gangbo, he was piecing him up in that third round. And Lawrence Louis was using his grappling, using the pressure really nicely. I thought this fight could have went either way. I don't think there was a right or wrong answer here. So, it's a good win for Lawrence Louis. I don't know how he's going to go in the UFC. He is a CKB boy, so yeah, hopefully he does go half decent. And good win for him. And for Sulan Gangbo, this ain't too bad of a loss. It was a pretty close fight overall. And I think we'll see him on the Contender Series eventually, so yeah. And for the next fight, bro. Sorry, I've got to open this. Bro, how does this happen? For the first two rounds, Sebastian Salazar was piecing up Nakamura, going that karate stance, bang, 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 hitting him to the body, dropped him pretty hard in the first round. And then in the third round, you could tell Sebastian was super tired. It was just kind of low IQ. Like, that kind of happens when your gas tank goes down. You go low IQ, you don't think as good. Sorry, I got to put that down. It's annoying me. And the fact is, I don't know why Seb came in and started to trade with him, even though he was winning both rounds clearly. He could have easily tried and go for a takedown, and it gets stuffed, and he'd still win the fight. He was just coming in too much, and then he got caught with a knee. It's a good win for Nakamura, but I still think Seb is the better fighter. I know this is a little bit of cope, but Nakamura is a talented fighter. I'd like to see how he goes in the UFC. But for Seb, I really do hope they give him another chance. Maybe on the Contender Series would be great, because he was winning that whole fight and he has looked good the whole UFC. He's looked good. So yeah, good win for Nakamura. And for the next fight, we have Sang-Woo Kim versus... Oh, I don't know why they've done that. We've got Sang-Woo Kim versus Don Ma Fan. My shit is gone crazy. And I think Don Ma Fan was just better. He's just a step ahead of Sang-Woo Kim. Sang-Woo Kim's good, but Don Ma Fan's just that bit better. Like I said, he's only ever lost to Quaylon Salkeld once on the regional scene. And, he was pretty funny, throwing the bird up and everything. And overall, it was a pretty good fight. It was back and forth. Don Ma Fan, like I said, one step ahead, mixing in the takedowns. Oh, well, he only got one takedown. I thought he had more than one takedown. Anyway, good win for Don Ma Fan. He'll be an interesting addition to lightweight. So, yeah. Now I've got to talk about this next fight. The first, true fight on the card. Khan Ofley versus Yeezer. I'm an Australian, and even I thought Khan Ofley lost this fight 3-1. 1 and 2. Well, 1 is a close round, I will admit that, but it's not as close as people think. I think that, in the second round should be a 10-8 overall. I wouldn't be too mad if it was a draw. Honestly. But the fact that they gave it to Khan Ofley, 30-27 is insane. I'm an Australian, and even I know this is a clear robbery. I think they should honestly, give Yeezer, another chance. I know he lost his last fight. This is a ridiculous decision. I love Khan Ofley, but he's got to do something in his next fight. He has to win his next fight, because this is easily a robbery. This is Sal D'Amato being a dumbass. and I can't say a good win because I don't think he won the fight. Yeah, we'll just see what happens in their next fights, and let's get on to the next one. For the next fight, that's Jonathan McAuliffe gets an upset victory over Oban Elliott. Not a real upset, just like more of a. I'd say Oban Elliott was the better striker, but Jonathan McAuliffe was just more dangerous, and you could see that in the fight. Like Oban was cleaner. He was actually cracking him with some shots, but Jonathan McAuliffe got him with a nice left hook that dropped Oban hard in the first round. Obviously, he still won. Excuse me, I've got the hiccups. And, Oban was still piecing it up, coming forward, real aggressive. And then he shot a really lazy takedown out from far. And as soon as Jonathan McAuliffe was on the ground, he just took over the fight, got into the back, and choked Oban out cold. So, yeah, Jonathan's going to be an interesting fighter in the welterweight division, but I don't think he gets far unless he tightens up his strike. His striking really has to tighten up, I reckon. I think. Because he looked real green against an Oban Elliott. I've watched Jonathan since his first amateur fight. He's always been a brawly sort of dude. If he tightens up his striking though, he'll be a real force because he is very powerful and massive for welterweight. I think he's like 6'2" or 6'1". So yeah, good win for Jonathan McAuliffe. And for Oban Elliott, he gets over aggressive and he'll bounce back. I think he should be able to get a win. So, yeah, good win for Jonathan McAuliffe. And it is official. Geodude title run is not happening. But overall, I kind of predicted this fight to become more of a brawl. And I did say Malkoon is going to be the better fighter. Terrence Finney is not UFC caliber. We just saw this. He couldn't get a takedown. He couldn't strike. He couldn't do nothing. He had nothing for Malkoon, and it was kind of bad that Malkoon couldn't even finish Finney's. That was crazy within itself. Yeah, it was just a domination. There was nothing from Terrence Finney at all, and yeah, I don't know what you do with him after that performance. I think a good win for Malkoon, but it's the bottom of the middleweight division, I reckon, in Terrence Finney. I think I send him back to the Kanto region. So, yeah, guess a good win for Jacob Malkoon. There's not much to say about this fight. I mean, Malkoon should get someone like an Iron Turtle. I think that'd be a cool fight. And, yeah, that's all my thoughts on this fight. Yeah. And, honestly, for the next fight, I knew this fight was happening. I knew this was going to happen. I thought he'd roast and would have got a submission. But his strikers look super, super clean. Give credit to Cody Brundage. Cody Brundage was actually tagging him in the first part of that round. But he just looked like he started to fade throughout the fight. And it just shows that Cody Brundage isn't really at that UFC level. He's had a few half okay wins. But, he's just never been there. He lost to Bo Nickel. He lost to Jacob. I don't care. That's a loss to Jacob Malkoon. And now he's lost to Cam Roaston. I think he's on a 5-fight losing streak. He's on a Tai Tuivasa streak. I think we've got to cut Cody Brundage. For Cam Roaston, that's an okay win. It's nothing great. I want to see him fight Roman Kopylov. I've said it 100 fucking times. That would be a banger fight. It'd really test Roman's grappling capabilities. Because I think Cam's not going to finish Roman Kopylov, and if he did, that would be a super impressive win. So yeah, good win for Cam Roaston. He looks like a promising middleweight, and yeah, Cody Brundage is apparently Anthony Smith 2.0. Let's get on to the next fight. Oh my god, I'm going the wrong way. Orlando Bloom chokes out Junior Tafa. I even bet on Junior Tafa, bro. For the knockout. I was like, I could see a knockout. I could see a fluke, and he nearly done it too. And I was like, oh my god, he nearly done it. I chose Billy Alicana, obviously. This is what happens in a Tafa fight. They will knock someone down hard and then get choked out like 20 seconds later. This is exactly what happened in this fight. That's crazy work. I can't believe... like, Junior Tafa is going to get cut regardless. Billy Olakana, he's an interesting prospect because he had a good recoverability. It's kind of low-level fighting, though. Like, Billy Olakana's on a 3-fight win streak, if I'm not wrong. But it's a real low-level competition. Like, Junior Tafa's the highest level of competition that he's beaten, which is insane. So, in saying that, good win for Orlando Bloom, and for Junior Tafa, you just got to cut him. Or, like, give him Ebo Aslan. That's it. That's who's left for Tafa. There's no one else, or you cut him. So, the Tafa brothers... they're the worst brothers in the UFC, and yeah, let's start on to the main card. Which, I'm sorry, bro. Sorry, bro. I chose Jamie. I know Jamie. I love both these guys. Like, this is probably not the best of a worst situation, but this isn't the worst. Like, I didn't have to see Malaki get KO'd, which was awesome. He was, I will give credit to, like, you have to give credit to Malaki because he was actually looking good in the strike and the grappling was looking good at the start. But then when Quaylen got, like, that body lock and then slammed him on his head, I think it did look like a dazed Malaki, which, ended up in the face crank. Quaylen's super good, man. And like I said, you got to give credit to Malaki because he took that on 4 weeks' notice. So, yeah, don't cut Malaki. It's shit that he's got to fight for his contract again because now he's back on a loss. And I'd like to see Jamie fight Chill Jubilee, bro. This ain't a meme. I'm serious. That'd be an honest, it's a good fight. Or Ash moves. But for Quaylen, you have to give him someone in the rankings. Like, Quaylen is literally the best lightweight prospect. I love Tom Nolan, but he got knocked out by Nicholas Motta. But for Quaylen Southcote, I want to see him. He could probably try and take that short notice against Renato Moicano. That would be an awesome fight. Brian Ortega pulled out. Or I'd like to see him fight. This could be a super dangerous fight. Manuel Torres. That'd be sick. But I'll do that in my fight prediction videos. And yeah, good win for Quaylen. Jamie's a hard opponent. And yeah, that's all I've got to say. This is an alright fight. But now I've got to go to this fucking slop. Bro, how are these guys ranked heavyweights? Heavyweight is the single worst division in the UFC. It is worse than the female divisions. And we have women's bantamweight. We have women's bantamweight over this shit, bro. I'm a bit fucking fluey. I don't know how anyone likes heavyweight and be like, oh yeah. After what Ty and Taliesin just put on, it's got to be the worst division in the UFC. That's a good rant, by the way. I've got a few good rants, by the way. I want to talk about actually, you know what I'm going to talk about? I'm going to talk about the fucking UFC commentary. What the fuck was going on? Like, to be fair, the Offley one was fair, but they shat on every Aussie fighter. They shat on Mikhailov. Don't get me wrong. He was getting pieced up. But they shat on Roaston for no reason. They just shat on all the Australian fighters. It was real fucking weird. Like, from Michael Bisping and DC. It really pissed me off. I was like hearing this out. I was like, what the fuck is going on? They even did it to Volk. They're like, man, Diego Lopez, he's really piecing up. Like, what the fuck? Are they, like, they're cracked in the head, bro. I was hating it the whole time. Yeah, we'll get back to the fight. Ty's got to get cut. There's no ifs, buts, or whens. Like, you can't have a guy that's on a 6-fight win streak, a losing streak in the UFC. If a Taliesin Tai Tuivasa, he can go to bare knuckle, do boxing. I don't know what his point in the UFC is anymore. Don't get me wrong. Ty did try to go forward, but just look at the fight, bro. It was just fucking... This is just disgraceful for the sport. So, yeah, I guess... okay win for Taliesin. The fact that he went to a decision. But he's going to get slimed out by anyone half decent at heavyweight. And that's saying something. Heavyweight's just trash. Let's get on to the next one. For the next fight, this was banger. Get another pick right. Holy fuck, I hate when that happens. We have Mauricio Rufy versus Rafael Fiziev. I don't know what goes on with Rafael Fiziev. He just seems to not be able to go past the first round without losing. If you look at most of his fights, he starts to gas out after like 3 minutes, 4 minutes of a round. And it's happened with Gaethje, it's happened with other fighters. And it's real weird, man. And Mauricio Rufy took full advantage of that. He's waiting. Bang, counter right. And he hit Fiziev with the craziest fucking left and right hand ever. Like, he fucking made him do the chicken dance and finished him. It was a really good performance from Rufy. I'd love to see Rufy maybe fight a top 10. Do not want to see him fight Beneil Dariush. Do not want to see that, bro. I'd like to see Rufy fight... Ooh, that's an underrated fight. I just said Manuel Torres versus Quayle Salkill, but imagine Manuel Torres versus Rufy. That's fucking cracker. Ooh. And for Fiziev... Yeah, anyway, we'll do Manuel Torres versus Rufy. But for Rafael Fiziev, I don't know what we do, bro. Because Fiziev, he's really good, but he's either got to fix his cardio or he's got to go to featherweight because he's just too muscly, too short, too small for lightweight. So I'd like to see Fiziev go down to lightweight and maybe fight one of those boys. Maybe a... Man, I can't think of the ranked featherweights at the moment. The Arnold Allen would be a sick fight. That'd be a great fight for Rafael Fiziev. So yeah, good win for Rufy. It was great. Great work by him. And for the co-main, what does Dan Hooker do, bro? What the hell is Dan... Am I reading this right? 170 strikes. That can't be right. I don't think that stat's correct. I know he unleashed hell, but there's no way BSD did that many strikes. Dan Hooker was... let me break this fight down. Dan Hooker was having a really good first round. He actually kicked to the body a few times. He was really hurting BSD with those kicks. He nearly finished BSD a few times, but I think he didn't realize he had to step on the gas. And then he did a prime Michael Chandler and legitimately just fucking went retarded. He went retarded, went for a takedown, and got his ass beat for 3 minutes straight with him just getting arm triangled and then punched to the head literally 100 times, like it says on the thing. I don't know what Dan Hooker's doing. It's crazy, bro. I don't know what Dan Hooker's doing. So yeah, good work from BSD. I can't choose Dan Hooker again, man. This is insane. Every time I rely on him, he just lets me down. And the first round was looking good, like I said, but how do you choose a guy that does that? For BSD, I'd really like to see him fight Paddy Pimblett. A lot of people saying BSD and Arman. I don't know. I think Arman is the number one contender still. Obviously, you got Gaethje in the wings, but I have a real good feel. I've got a weird feeling that Topuria ain't coming back to lightweight. It's just... There's something weird going on there. I think Gaethje's going to be unified, and then it's going to be Arman versus Gaethje at the White House. There's something in my brain. I'm going to have a video for it. But yeah, BSD versus Paddy would be a sick fight. It'd state Paddy in the top 10 and keep his top 5 spot. So yeah, good win for BSD. Dan Hooker, I'm never choosing you again. Fucking hell. And for the main event, bro, how is Volk not the featherweight GOAT? Like, I hate all these people online, bro, Chris Weidman could go suck a fucking dick. Who is Chris Weidman? Honestly. He pisses me off. He's like, oh yeah, he's got to fucking have it. He's equal with Aldo in title defenses. He's equal with Aldo. And people are like, oh yeah, but fucking Aldo was undefeated for 10 years. Yeah. But Aldo also wasn't fighting prime Diego Lopez at 37 years of age. 37 years... Oh my god. Aldo at 37 years of age was getting the fuck beat out of by Jan. Was having a split decision with bloody Cheetah, with Marlon Vera. Not Marlon Vera, fucking Marlon Moraes. Jose Aldo was having split decisions with Eamon Sahabi, bro. Volk is like beating these prime young contenders. Don't get me wrong, it was Diego twice. And who has Volk lost to? Islam twice and Topuria once. Two absolute, like, pound for one. Fuck me. Pound for pound one and pound for pound two. I said this in my video, like, how are you going to stop Volk? This is the exact same fight. Volk did way better, actually, in this fight than he did the last fight. Like, Diego did learn the cutoff a little bit, but he just can't. He couldn't do enough. And Volk was good in the grappling, too. Like, he couldn't get Diego down, but he definitely had these moments in the grappling. And a lot of people saying, oh, fuck you, Diego was close with a submission. You just don't know jiu-jitsu, obviously, because Christ almighty, Volk's submission was way closer than Diego's. Volk, I'd love to see him fight Mozart or Lerone. After this performance, I still want to see Volk fight. Because Diego was a very dangerous challenge again. But now that I've seen this fight again, now that I'm confident that Volk can win, especially against Mozart and Lerone, who Lerone's never had a finish except over Chinny, Aaron Pico, and who has Mozart ever finished? Those guys aren't. They're just not as good as Volk. No one is as technically good as Volk. Even if you look against Islam and Topuria, his striking and his footwork are just way better. Even though Topuria like eventually got him up against the cage, I do think like if we do a rematch, I think that fight goes way better. So, anyway, Volk is top 5 all time, and the featherweight go. Sorry, Aldo, but that's just the truth. But listen, this was a pretty good card overall. I didn't do like the best because I had a lot of personal picks. So if we go from, let's say, top to bottom, I had Volk. I didn't have Dan. I had Mauricio Rufy. I didn't have fucking Taliesin Teixeira. Didn't have Quaylen. A lot of these were personal picks, like I said. Okay, but we had Billy Amakan. We had Cam Rouston. We had Jacob Malkood. We had Jonathan McAuliffe. We had Khan Ofley. That was a lucky pick. We had Don Marfan. We didn't have Karicha Nakamura. And we had Lawrence Laway. So we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. What was it? I think it was like 9 for like 12 or 9 for, like I said, a lot of personal picks. But yeah, listen, this wasn't too bad of a card. It was alright. I wasn't going to go to this. It was so expensive for tickets. I've got other stuff that I got to pay for in my life. But listen, if you like the video, please like and subscribe. If you come from the Instagram to the YouTube, give a subscribe. If you go to the YouTube to the Instagram, give a follow. I'll make the fights to make video tomorrow, and yeah, I appreciate you guys. Thanks. Bye. See you later.